The Central Highlands Hydro Scheme started in 1912, based on the theory that by moving water across the state, they could generate electricity. Now, arguably, the Tasmanian trout fishery is better today because of this system. They had to create massive bodies of water. That, of course, created habitat for the trout. Now, this pipeline I'm standing on is part of that original system. It is built out of timber and bolted together with these massive steel bands. Think about this, 1912, getting all this material here and putting it together, absolutely phenomenal. Well, my mud map must have worked because I found this man. Justin calls me. Now, Justin, how long have you worked at the Tassie Devil Factory here in Tassie?
22 years now, Paul.
22 years. I'm assuming you've seen a few devils.
Lots and lots, mate, lots and lots.
Any chance we're going to catch a trout on one or two today?
I think we'll find a couple, for sure.
Good work. Off to the trees we go. Deviling as we know best. So what do you reckon, this sort of timber over here is good?
Yeah, that's what we're looking for, Paul, for sure.
Just what, fish in the structure?
Yeah, close in hard and bring it out through the trees.
Beautiful.
We should find a couple.
Let's give it a crack, mate.
That's a nice
Oh,
fish.
it's a good fish, mate. Well done.
In hard on that froth line, I reckon, following them beetles along the shore.
So you actually saw a few fish in the last few casts?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'd say that's what they're doing. They're feeding along this shore, following the food.
Yep. And why the froth line? What's the go with that?
Similar to your wind lanes, it's going to gather a little bit of food. So we just keep peppering our casts away there.
Well, he's a beautiful fish.
Is
Isn't it
it?
funny how they get to the boat pretty easy like this sometimes, and then
Yeah.
they go nuts? Like, you'll do the, there he goes.
There you go.
You'll do the big splasho. I would have thought these fish would be a lot fatter for a lake in this condition.
You would think so. This lake is up very high to its usual level.
Yep.
I would have thought that they'd be in exceptional condition, but he's fighting hard nonetheless.
Now, the reason we're letting this fish just roll around a bit, wanting to expel some energy, because I don't want to put him in the net. We do have a net there, but if I wet the hands, pick him up, I can show you, and then we can let him go, and it just makes it a little bit easier for us. He's flaring the gills, mate, which means he's trying to get a bit of extra oxygen in there. If you slide him up to me, I will just try and slide him over.
I think he should be good.
Ah, you've got the old Pins minnow on there, mate.
In that trout colour.
In trout, very nice. Whoops, get out from under the boat. He's a solid fish. Whoop. And that's just a perfect release, because this guy here has two serious trebles on it. It's a Pins minnow in trout colour. Beautiful lure, catches a lot of fish. Literally hold it at the side of the boat, off he goes. I reckon there's about 4,000 more in there somewhere, and we're about to catch him. We've just decided to move over to the tree line on this side of the lake. It's gone a bit quiet over there. And rather than getting the Yamaha up and going, I've got the old water snake in top gear, and I can just steer it with this necklace. It is so clever. When we get there, I press the A button for anchor, and it will hold us in that exact position with GPS, so we can cast the trees and not have to worry about the boat moving around. That is very, very clever technology.
On.
Oh, that's
Fish
the boat.
on. Yep.
That's the boat. Good work, mate. Oh, it's a fiery beast. And I am shocked. He's done very little, this fish. He's going to go nuts here.
No, he's only rolling around.
I'm shocked at the size of these fish. They're just not as big as I expected, mate.
No, they're surprising me too, Paul.
Slide him over. And due to my amazing skills at picking up trout, we decided we'd actually go for the land net, didn't we, mate?
That's good. He's in the boat.
He's in the boat. And look at that. Look at the coloration on the side of him, and look at that lure.
Got some nice spots there on that trout one again.
How similar is that? Cracking little fish. Oh, well done, mate. This is the hardest thing. It's not hard to get the lure out of the fish. It's always hard to get the lure out of the net. Incredible little fish. Now, that fish can't be very old, can it?
No, it's probably around about 2 to 3 years old, I'd imagine.
Yep.
Somewhere around that age.
Interesting thing about trout, in their first year you have 90% mortality, and then every year after that it drops back to about 40%. And some brown trout are long age, they live to 20 years.
There you go.
That is a serious fish. If you get a big brown that's 20 years old, you'd be a very happy camper. Look at that. have a little story to share with you. Just before I come on this trip to Tasmania, my good friends at Jarvis Walker sent me the one and only brand new Water Snake smart GPS system, 80-pound bow mount, so I could try it out on this trip. And I gotta say, for the 5 minutes I used it, it was amazing. But then we had a little issue. We were driving into this big tree to tie up and have some lunch. Unfortunately, someone bumped the throttle of the outboard and we hit the tree at tremendous speed. No names who did that. I'm not going to mention it because I'll get embarrassed. It clean snapped the water snake off the front of the boat. It was like one of those Bill dance bloopers. I was hanging on it, was going everywhere. So we have a small issue, but it has survived. Tonight we'll do some work on it. We may get it going, but for now, we're using the other electric, the one that runs on petrol down the back. Sorry guys, these things happen. Can I please put my hand up for a brand new Water Snake 80-pound GPS? Thanks, Trevor, you're a good man. When I'm spinning lakes for trout, I like to use ultralight gear, and today's gear is exactly that. It's a Shimano T-Curve 1 to 3 kilo spin stick, nice and light, flick a lure a long way, 4-pound Maxima line, and the reel, a Stratic 1000 CI4 FML, perfect for stream work, but also really good for chucking these small lures into the timber. You get a massive cast, and with a long cast, that's your best chance of trouting success.
Oh, there's a little bump there right on the shallows.
Right in close.
Yep, first few turns of the reel, but he hasn't come back.
Well, I'll try and go in nice and close, mate. I've been fishing amongst the timber and have not had a, well, I had a few good follows, but
Yep.
haven't had a bump. He's a better one, mate.
He is a bit better. Oh, he's nearing the tree. There he is.
Isn't it funny? They come out, they jump, and then he just dogs around. Look, he's on the surface there. Look at him.
Yep,
Look at him.
right out there.
And he's just been hooked. He's just sitting there thinking about his next move, just dogging it out.
Leapt out of the water half a metre.
Didn't he? Now he might have another go, but is that weird that they're doing that?
I don't know, it is a bit strange that they're giving up pretty quickly.
This is probably the hottest day you've had in...
It is, in a while.
Months?
I wouldn't say years, but yeah.
Okay, a long time. So maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just beat.
Yeah, he's basically done.
Unbelievable. Now he might do a bit. And these browns, they'll come out, jump, that sort of stuff, then they'll snake around, shake the head. Oh, there he goes. He's just woken up. I'm going to get the net, mate, because that is a better fish.
He is a better one.
He's got a big gob on him, mate.
He has.
Slide him over. Voila! And that... Oh, look at that. Lure's out. That is the fish of the day, my friend.
Slightly better fish.
That is a much better fish. Isn't it funny when you start catching little ones?
Yeah.
One that's slightly better seems heaps bigger.
It does.
Mate, he has absolutely nailed that lure, and I'm still stunned by how little he fought.
Yep. Coming out of the water to start with, but that was it.
That is it. Stunning, whoops, stunning fish. The lure's come out. That little trout pattern, now I've put the same pattern lure on. Not having any success yet, but I reckon we just keep working it. Whoops, it's going to happen, isn't it?
Indeed, yep.
It's just a numbers game. A beautiful brown trout.
Very traditional Tassie colours on that fish too, that olive back. Lots of spots. Bit better fish this one, and usually keep a few for the table, but this fella's going to go back. He's not in the best of condition. He's a bit better than the others, but he'll go back to fight another day and hopefully grow a bit bigger for next time.
Hey, come on. Now, isn't that bizarre? We actually moved across to this side of the lake on the off chance that the fish might be on the non-windward side. We've got over here, and can I ask a serious question? How is the wind on both sides of the lake? It's unreal, isn't it, Justin?
It is, mate. It's blowing very strongly on this side as well.
It is pumping in here, and you said, obviously, look, there's got to be fish over here, but how can the wind blow on both sides of the lake into the shore?
Well, I'm not quite sure, mate, but it's worked, so we'll run with that.
So instead of knowing the answer, we're just going to call you the expert. Now, we had a problem with a tree earlier, so if you can just watch my back, he is totally tangled in that net, and he's very well hooked. I went to the rainbow trout Yozuri, and again, small fish typically from this area, mate?
It is a game, Paul. I'm not quite sure why at the moment. They should be a fair bit bigger than that, but...
It's unbelievable. You know what? It's a numbers game. The more fish you catch, the more chance you've got of catching a big one. But that is still a magnificent specimen, a beautiful example of a Tasmanian brown trout.
Okay, Paul, I think we go and try those trees up here.
Yep.
Up on that shore.
Windward side looks pretty good.
It still looks good there, mate.
Let's do it. There's too many good spots, that's the trouble. You may notice I'm actually winding with my left hand today, so as soon as that lure hits the water, I can start winding immediately, get it down nice and deep. I reckon the fish are down about 1.5 metres, 2 metres, and it's not just sitting on the surface idle every time it hits there for a few seconds. So I do the cast and crank, wind straight away. Particularly good when you're fishing a stream and the water is belting down towards you. That looks nice in there, mate.
Very nice indeed. You might notice this retrieve I'm using, adding a lot of extra action to the lure, a lot of twitches of the rod tip, giving it a bit more of a darting action in the water, hopefully enticing those fish to strike, not missing them timid fish that might just follow the lure back to the boat. Works 9 times out of 10.
Oh,
nice fish.
Good one, mate. That's a beautiful. Oh, that is a serious bend. Has he come up yet?
No, he hasn't come up yet. Oh, there's a boil on top of the water there.
That might be a solid one, mate.
He's gone a bit soft again.
Has
though.
he? You never know your luck in a big city, mate.
That you don't. He's behaving nicely here.
I haven't seen him. Oh, he's all right.
He's not too bad.
That's a really, really nice fish, mate. And you know what? Sometimes we go, oh, it's not a bad fish. To someone at home, that could be the biggest trout they'll ever catch in their life.
Exactly.
And just slip him in there. Oh. I'll tell you what, this is the best net in the world. It is a,
the best hook
it's a hook remover fish net, so I can just do this. Watch this. And
off he goes.
And the Russian judge says 11 out of 10. I think you have to name that trout Nadia Comaneci. Mate, that is a nice fish, eh?
Nice fish, Paul.
He's actually got some power and he's going to touch that drag off of bees, and he's going straight to the, why do they always go to the back of the boat? Ooh, that's a good fish. He's going right around the back. Now, what can I do here? I'm going to go this way.
Yep.
Slowly.
Yep.
Stay there. Now, I'm just going to tell you how it all works. When we go filming, we have a producer and he does a bit of sound. And this is my friend Daniel. You just stay there, Dan, because it's not a big boat. And this is where we put all the things down the back here. We don't necessarily want you to see every second, but this trout's going around beautifully. Dan, you are a very good looking man. You have a wonderful head for radio. Now, don't write me emails. Dan and I, very good friends, one of the best men at my wedding, and I love him dearly. And in Australia, that's what you do. You have a bit of fun with your mates. So no emails. Is that all right, Dan?
That's okay.
We love each other. Oh, now, I'll try and come back around this way. Excuse me. We've got a big tree there.
Okay.
Just, oh.
Watch him on that tree, Paul.
Dan, I might get you to start the motor and just back up on this fish because he's going around that tree.
Watch that snag, Paul. Watch that snag.
Oh no, it's not good. Oh, he's touching the tree. He's touching the tree. Just keep going back. He's in that tree. That is awesome. He's come up.
Swing it the other way.
Oh, he's actually tangled himself. This may be messy television, but you know what? As long as we get the fish and we show you that fish, I'm just going to come back. Did you know that I did a bit of tightrope walking when I was in the circus? In fact, it's a bit like a circus here today. I'm just going to try and get this fish up so I can show you. It's an absolute beauty, and how's the take, mate?
You hit it hard.
Didn't you, what? And you said this bay had to hold fish, didn't you?
It looked very fishy. The wind's blowing straight down there, all the food will be gathering.
There he is, solid brownie.
He's a nice fish, Paul.
Well done, my friend. And that is absolute gold. Now, there's water on the lens. There's a camera boat over there. It's messy. We're going to switch off and be back in a second. Well, Justin, now I know why they call it Laugh and Jack Lagoon. We had a few laughs then, didn't we?
We did indeed.
Can you believe a trout this big, and it's not a monster, maybe a kilo,
Yep.
managed to drag me all the way around the boat into a snag?
He had us going.
That is quality. And this is what you're saying is the standard fish out of here normally?
That's a good average fish, yes.
Well, if this is an average fish, I want to come back to Laugh and Jack Lagoon. Mate, thank you for sharing a quality day on the water with me.
No problem at all.
And you're a lucky man, you know why?
Why's that?
Well, every day you surround yourself with fishing.
Exactly, mate.
And if you do that, you can't go too far wrong. Well, I love it when you've got to work for your fishing. Today we've worked relatively hard, but we've caught some magnificent trout. This one, probably the pick of them, and so nice too when you pick it up at the end of the day after working really hard and you get to let him go. He's good to go. Look at that already. Bang, off he goes. Straight down to the depths, and he will be here next time, or the first time you come to sunny Tasmania.